Hey, welcome to Lenny Schmidts Quarantine Comedy. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. This is the show where we talk to live performers, singers, writers. That wouldn't be really a live performer, but singers, actors, dancers, musicians, and a lot of comics, comedians. We talk to them about their careers, what they did before COVID, how they're adjusting to COVID, what they're going to do moving forward. The COVID has shut down the live entertainment industry completely across the board. This gives everyone an opportunity to catch up with their favorite performers, and the performers an opportunity to share some product, some merch, some albums, so forth, and get some support while we're going through this COVID thing. So thank you for being here. If you enjoyed the show, do me a favor, like the video first. Number one, most important, please like the video. That helps me immensely. Also, share the video if you really like the show. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. That helps a lot as well. That goes really far with YouTube. It helps us helps me to put shows up and get more attention on YouTube. Also, if you want to support the show financially, if you want to throw some money at the show, there's a couple of options for you. Bam, they're right above my head, right there. Look at that. Look at that. You can go to lennyschmidt.com/if you can. That's my website. You can Venmo me at Lenny Schmidt Comedy. And you can join my Patreon page, which I'll talk about later in the broadcast. You can do a monthly fee. You can pay as little as $1 on all of those options. If you enjoy the show, you enjoy the content, the interview, with the white noise, whatever you're doing with the show in the background, you can throw $1 at it, whatever you think it's worth. Just $1. It's simple. Just $1. You have an option between $1 and $10,000. There's an actual $10,000 button on my website. I'm not going to tell you how many people have used it. But it rhymes with the word zero. Anyway, please feel free to throw some money at the show. We'd appreciate it. We don't have any sponsors. The show is totally sponsored by and supported by all of the people that watch the show and some of the entertainers that have been on the show as well. So I can't thank you enough. So sit back, enjoy the show, enjoy today's episode, and we're going to start it right now. This is taped. It won't be taped in a second. This is going to be live. Here we go. Enjoy the show. Thanks for being here. Take care. Thanks, Larry Warden, for saving the show yet again. I appreciate that. Yeah, Lenny's back. No audio. Oh, man. I like that song. That's what I was saying. I'm going to pick up where I was. I like that song a lot. Here's how I found that song. The first song I was using for the old intro was there was a copyright issue. I looked at it. There's a website called Ben Sounds, and you can go to there, and they have tons of and numerous music and sound audio type things that you can use for videos, short films, products, things like that and stuff. And you can use it as long as you give them credit and you tag the website in the bio, in the description afterwards. And I did that for months. And then one day I was doing videos for the Reconnecting comedy show. And I used some music from that same site, and I used it for the videos. And I was reading the fine print, and it said the same thing. You can tag it, blah blah. But there was an X next to podcast, and the more I looked at it, the more I read into it, the more I realized that Ben Sounds will allow you to use that music for videos, but not for a podcast. So I was like, I wonder what. Maybe I should change it moving forward. And that also means I need to go back and re-edit all of the podcasts, which I'll be doing over the next week or two while I'm on the road. So there you go. And actually, I'll be fixing some of the sound and the video. I don't know if you noticed the video in the opening is a little fuzzy. So anyway, when I'm on the road, I'll be doing a lot of computer and tech work, and I'll be very happy to get it done, to get the podcast done. Speaking of podcast, Vinny Hines' podcast is up earlier today. We're going to do those twice a week now. That's how I'm going to do the podcast. I'm not sure if you're listening, you're following, or what the deal is. There's not really a structure to when the podcasts go up because this show is live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I've been doing the podcast the next day, but I think we're going to turn it down a notch. I'm going to release those Monday and Thursday morning, something like that. Either way, the podcasts keep coming out, and we're fine. How you guys doing? It's good to be here. Thanks for tuning in. Lenny Schmidts Quarantine Comedy again. Well, there's a lot in the news. We're going to get to some of it a little bit later when my guest is here. My buddy Gene Pompa will be out here in a second. The very funny and talented. He will be joining us. We were talking before the show about some of the stuff. And obviously, President Trump is in the hospital with the stupid COVID. So we'll see how that plays out. And again, I get messages from Anna while I'm live on TV. I don't understand how that she keeps doing that. TV. I'm live on TV. That's hilarious. It's not live on TV. Cruise news, real quick. I don't know how to cover this exactly. I know some of you guys have cruises. You were asking me about it. There's a lot of you guys watching. That's very cool. Thank you. I'll get you guys in just 1 second. They canceled a bunch of cruises again, but they extended the sale. They extended the no sail order through October, and then a lot of cruise lines voluntarily canceled all cruises through the year. Carnival is still planning on launching in November. There's a list of cruises that I was just sent. I don't understand this. I'm just gonna read it. I'm just gonna tell you. It changes every day, so I don't know. From what I understand, they're only sailing out of Florida. For starting in November. That's what Carnival's doing. That's what the plan was. I heard some cruise lines. I had heard Norwegian canceled their cruises through 2020, but then I got an update here that says that the one ship sailing out of L.A. is the Norwegian Bliss. So it's tentative. I don't know what that means. So if a ship sails out of L.A., it might be the Norwegian Bliss. Maybe. I don't know. Everything else is going on in Miami. I do know this. If you have that cruise on the Panorama, many of the guests or many of the viewers of the show had a Panorama gig. I think Alex did. Some other people, maybe. Yeah, that's probably not sailing. So your Panorama gig is going to be canceled. So I apologize. Once again, it's tough if you're a cruise member. And I guess Gene is not here. I don't know what happened to Gene. What time is it? It's 10 after 6. He was just here. Let me send him a thing. I bet he forgot what was going on. Where are you? Larry, you just asked me if I think it's a setup. That's an elaborate setup, bro. There's a lot of people that have got to be in on that setup. I don't know if you can get away with that. You know what I mean? Well, he's in the hospital now. He's in Walter Reed. So whatever information comes out of Walter Reed, I would think it's got to be authentic. Correct? That can't be fake news in any way, shape, or form. If the real medical professionals are coming out, they wouldn't be. I mean, if it was like, the Ivanka or any one of the many speakers from the White House, yeah, it could be totally fake and set up. But I don't know if it's set up. I don't think so. You know what? We talked about this before. Where the hell is Gene? This is making me crazy. We talked about this before. I don't know if he can handle the setup. He hasn't tweeted in hours. You know what I mean? He hasn't tweeted. I think if it was a setup, he'd still be tweeting. And he can't. I don't think he can sit still. I don't think he can go, President. We have a plan. We're gonna fake the COVID. And he would be like, well, then I have to tweet every hour to let them know that I'm powerful. I got to think that's what he's doing. I don't think he has the timing or the comedic timing to play out the bit. You know what I mean? I don't think he's got the patience to play it out. I think he would lose. You know what I mean? He would look at him and say, sir, we're going to play a joke in 3. Are you ready? 1, timing. No, sir, Mr. President, that's not how you do it. I know comedy. I'm very good at comedy. People tell me all the time, I do the best comedies they've ever seen. Some people say they can't believe I am the strongest comedies. I'm better than Saturday Night Live. That's nothing. People have come to me and told me I'm amazing when it comes to comedy. People go, television should call you and find out how to do the comedy. You're perfect at it, sir. You're great at everything. Yeah, he needs to tweet. He's sick. You're right. Man, I don't know where Gene is. Let's try this. No, we're not going to do that. Let's go to the board. Not a fan of Trump, but I don't think it's a setup. Exactly, Alex. You're correct. I don't think it's a setup. I mentioned that's way too way too elaborate. Also, I don't wish I can't even go on Facebook today. It's very brutal. I don't wish COVID or death or pain or anyone. So, Kamala's your president. Yeah, Kamala. No, not yet. Well, yeah, who knows? I don't know. Anyone remember that Trump made fun of Hillary when she had pneumonia? Oh, that's true. Yeah. I can't believe he's not tweeting something making fun of all this. But yeah, I don't think he has the patience to play out the bit. I think he would lose his patience. So I think he's really sick. We're going to find out, man. We're going to get updates. They're coming relatively quickly. And keep checking the news, man. So we will see. We will see what happens. That's about it. That's all. Here we go. What else? Okay. No one cares about that. No one cares about that. Eric, thanks for joining us. Larry Warden, once again, thank you. Yeah, I want him to recover and take his loss like a man. Yeah, that's good. It's good. Maybe he's disappearing because he doesn't want to lose. That's it. He's just hiding. He's like going to lay low. He's going to try and, yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. Folks, Gene Pompa's our guest today. I don't know where he went. I've already tweeted him twice. I can see, I see a picture from his house, but he was there. Now he's not there anymore. And I messaged him, and I don't know what has happened. I have a tape of him arguing with his wife, which was the best. I could play that. I could maybe load that up. What else is going on? The Mulligans, I guess you guys are good up there, man. Are you back in your homes? I wish you the best up there. If you're in Northern California, please be safe. Be careful. There's a lot of fires up there. Things are going horribly wrong. We've lost 7 viewers. This is what happens when Gene Pompa's late. I'm going to blame him. Folks, we're going to play a clip of Gene Pompa right now. This is our guest who's going to be out here in a second. Very funny man. Very comedian. Very funny man. We go way back. Please, let's take a look at my good friend. See how this works. See if I can do this without messing up. My good friend Gene Pompa.
Reason. I was in the supermarket. I had these 2 shopping carts full of groceries. I'm waiting in line. This guy gets in line behind me. All he has is like a jar of spaghetti sauce and some spaghetti. He keeps like checking his watch and looking at my 2 full carts. And I just totally ignored him. And then finally I turned around and I said, hey man, if that's all you have is that spaghetti sauce and that spaghetti, then you should just go ahead, do some more shopping, because I'll be a little bit of a while. And I have to write a check. I don't have any ID. I got a lot of coupons. All I need is a pair of scissors and I can cut them out. You guys make great?
Yeah, that's my man right there, Gene Pompa. Look, he showed up just in time. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one and only. Here he comes right there, Gene Pompa. There he is. Look at that. Woo! Woo!
Hey, there's a delayed reaction on the camera.
It's what? There's delayed action on your camera? Are you doing
Yeah,
that? I always do that.
Yeah.
It's like the half a second thing.
Yeah, I like
You
it.
know, have you ever shop at Target? You ever go to Target and do the self-checkout? The cameras at Target have that. And I drive my kids nuts because I'm constantly going. So I try to catch myself looking the other way. And they're like, Dad, would you stop doing that? I'm like, no, it's great. Look at it. Look at my bald spot. I can see my bald spot.
You shop at Target?
Well, you know, I don't want to brag.
Bitch.
I'm sorry. Target. Gene, you were great. What's up, buddy? How are you?
Good. I'm doing great, actually.
Oh,
I don't mind the quarantine as much as some people.
Oh, really?
Once in a while, the quarantine will register. Like I'll forget. I'll go. It's Sunday. I'm going to cruise over the Improv real quick and do a few minutes, in the lab. And you're like, oh, that's right. You can't just do that anymore. I used to not go because I didn't feel like going. Right? You know how it is as you get a little older.
Sure.
I'm like, I want to leave at 11 o'clock to do a set or whatever. But now I don't even have the option of not doing it, even if I want to.
Yeah, I missed that laying on the couch going, I could go do a spot or.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 15, 20 years ago, I was at all the clubs till midnight. Now I'm like, I don't want to go anywhere. I'm like, no, I'm good.
I'm excited. I'm like, look, I'm out and about. Everyone else is asleep. This is exciting.
Yeah. Now you have no choice. Where are you at, man? Where do you live?
Seal Beach.
Seal Beach.
Down
Nice.
next to Long Beach, between Huntington and Long Beach.
I am familiar, man. I know you're quarantined down there with. Well, are you getting out at all? Are you one of those quarantine guys that locked yourself in the house, or are you doing stuff?
Yeah, I'll do some stuff. Mostly, I'll just wash my cars sometimes. Like I wash my cars by hand. I don't
Yeah.
uh, usually take it to the car wash. But it's a you see. I don't know if you see I have a '67 Cadillac. It's very big, and that one
Nice.
kind of cathartic. It's like gardening. You spend like an hour on. I don't detail it, but I just
Yeah.
spend enough time. And I realize how out of shape I am because sometimes when I'm washing it by hand, my kidneys hurt or other parts of my body. Like I can only twist certain ways.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a quarantine after effect or something.
Yeah.
But things a little crickety right now.
Yeah, that's a good sign of getting older. It's not so much your back hurts, but when you start hurting things like internal organs from washing a car or something, that's when you've crossed the line.
Yeah.
What's wrong? I think I hurt my intestine. You what? I can't.
Yeah, well, it's kind of frightening because it's a new, Oh, and there's been these mosquitoes. I don't know if you get them where you live.
No, they're
It's
worse than they normally are. But are you getting them
Yeah,
down there?
yeah. So they're called ankle biters. That's what they call them here. And so I spray like before I leave the house every afternoon after I wake up. I spray from my shin. Well, everyone has different hours. I wake up at noonish. You wake up at noon sometimes, right? Are you
Sometimes,
an
yeah.
empty nester? Or do you have kids in school still?
No, they're teenagers. They're teenagers. They sleep late. Are you kidding me? I get up at noon and go, hey, get out of bed. That's
Yeah.
what's going on over here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Bianca, my daughter, is like that. She inherited. Sometimes she'll sleep in. Her
Yeah.
mom gets up like at 7
Ooh.
and then goes around the neighborhood spreading lies.
I thought you were going to say spreading love. That's what I thought you were
Yeah,
going to say.
She hasn't spread that love here in over 21 years. We have take it easy. We have a healthy physical thing.
No, you guys are the greatest. I taped some of our conversation earlier only because early on when we were doing the sound check, I didn't turn my sound. You'll appreciate this, Larry. I didn't have my sound on during the sound check for those two. And they were arguing over the setup of the computer and the microphone. And it was the funniest thing. I've been watching Netflix. Netflix has nothing on the two of you. You're fucking hilarious. I was dying. You guys are killing me. She's like, did you hit the microphone? You're like, what microphone? She's like, you hit that button. There's no button. You're starting fights for no reason. That's the big. There is a reason. Pay attention. Did you check in? Did you check in? That's what she kept saying. Did you check in? Did you check in? Yeah, never stop. That should be your ringtone. Did you check in? Did you check in? Jeez.
She's good. And I'm like, yes, I checked in. I'm just trying to look at my post now to see what I want to talk about when I'm going to be happy. Turns into that. Will you please make me happy?
It all makes sense now. It all makes sense.
Yeah, I think comics, we're all pretty happy, like generally happy.
Yeah.
But it's not like we skip around, though. You know what I mean?
No.
Generally, we're kind of happy because I think we're more centered. In a weird way.
Yeah, comics are more. A lot of us are. Yeah, but we're also. A lot of comedy comes from anger. So it's like I'm divorced, so people used to say to my wife, "Oh, he must be hilarious all the time," and she would get so mad. She'd, "Oh yeah, he's a picnic. He's fantastic."
That's the thing because my wife has been married to a comic. All we do all day is laugh.
Just nonstop happiness. That sounds great. What a great atmosphere that must be. There must be a line outside of your house to get in, just to come by for like a cup of coffee or something.
People just want to just look at them. They just skip around like we kind of la la la. They skip around the house in love. She wears like chiffon.
Yeah.
I'm always in my robe and my pipe.
Yeah. There's like a harp in the corner.
Lovely. And quarantine has brought us closer.
Has it really?
Oh, sure. He sleeps in our bed, and then I sleep in my daughter's old bed in her room. Because apparently, it turns out my wife has a sleep apnea problem.
Yeah.
And I've been talking to her about getting a CPAP machine.
Yeah, right.
Because it can be brutal sometimes, so I have to go to the other room. But it's okay.
Does she have that sleep apnea that she wakes up, or do you have to wake her up? Some people you got to wake up, and you think they're dead. You ever had that where it sounds like she's dead?
What kind of sleep apnea you have?
I don't have it. Tell the truth.
Take it easy. This is a non-political show. Keep your.
Let's keep it partisan. Let's keep the show. Let's keep the show partisan, please.
Oh man, come back with your chiffon. Yeah. Go make the casserole you promised.
Well, I have the same. I snore. Let me rephrase that. My daughters tell me I snore really bad, and my ex used to tell me that. And when like I work on cruise ships, and the girls would come with me and stay in one cabin, and the girls would be like, "We can't sleep in here because you're snoring." I go, and I'm like, I don't snore. I don't know what you're talking about. So they record me, right? So the next day they play it, right? And it sounds cool. And I go, that's not me. Did you go out to another cabin and record someone else? Because there's no way I snore. They're so pissed at me. To this day, I won't admit that I snore. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't
You've never looked into getting like a CPAP or anything like that?
No, because I sleep fine. I sleep through the night. I'm good.
Yeah, you don't have to get to the bathroom. You have to go number onesie.
Every once in a while, it depends. You know what? I'm not at that point yet where I gotta get up 2 or 3 times in the night, or get up even. Some nights I'll sleep through the night. I'm good. You know, it's weird. It depends how much.
A newborn baby without colic.
Yeah, I drink a lot of water. You know what? Recently, we just moved. I know this. We just moved, so I sleep on a inflatable mattress, like one of those blow-up camping mattresses, and it's starting.
No, they're not too bad.
It's starting to break, so it starts to lose air. So I wake, and now I got to get up twice a night to inflate it a little bit, because I'm like, well, it's got the electric pump, so I can at least get out and do that. It's got a hooked up one, but I know, like last night I wasn't sure. Last night I knew is when I found out for sure it's breaking. Like I went to bed, and I go, I'm pretty sure I filled this up this morning, and then at 3 a.m. I got up and I'm like, I go, yeah, I need a new mattress.
Expiration date apparently, right? Eventually they all end up with the leak.
Yeah, they don't last long. I mean, we just moved over here, so I was trying to put off buying a new bed. So looks like
and if you're pulling up $400 or $500 for like an inflatable, like a top of the line, you might as well pony up a few hundred more and get a bed.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to ride it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had the air mattress when I was living in New York a few years ago. I was there for like 6 months, and it worked out fine. Actually, I was lucky because nothing happened to it, and I brought it back with me to Los Angeles. But yeah, sometimes it works. And my daughter uses them with her friends, so it just depends on I don't know.
Well, we used
do you jump on the bed? Do you jump up and down on the bed?
No, I don't. Oh, that might be it. Oh, you know what we do? I do play rock paper scissors with real scissors, so that could be the issue.
I think we've narrowed it down.
I think it could have been narrowed it down. But I got another one in storage, so I might try that one.
Let's talk more about that deluxe banner you have behind you.
Yeah, it's in $180 I spent for that banner. It's actual canvas.
And where did you Banners Are Us?
Where did you go? No, where did I go? I can't remember the name. They keep sending me emails. Because Print Runners. That's it. It's called Print Runners. Go to printrunners.com, Gene, if you want a big banner with your name on it. And they'll give you, you could pick your size, you could pick all kinds of stuff. I just picked
one. And you map out the design yourself and then they do it? Or
I use, that's the same logo I've been using for the show for about 4 months. And I was like, oh, that looks cool.
Yeah, man. You're like an artist.
Well, no, I stole the artwork. I didn't do that. I just stole it. It's a combination of 3 different pictures I stole and put them together. All I did was I changed. That's actually a Snapchat photo that I took off and emailed to myself. And yeah, that's not me. I don't do that stuff.
So you can send them all this stuff on your phone or your computer, and then you show up and it's intact?
No, I just emailed them a PDF. I wasn't even sure they're going to be able to do it. When I go, well, here's a picture. Can you make a banner out of that? And they sent me the proof, and I went, wow, that looks pretty good. And I go,
no, I need to get one. $180. Well, it's a little pricey, but not crazy.
It's good though, but it's big. They're like, I got this too big. It's also, you can buy it with the loops where I could put. I'm thinking about getting PVC.
What are the loops? You mean?
The loops you could put a pipe through at the top. So if there's a hole, you know what I mean? So if you put one at the top and one at the bottom and you secure it, then it's like every night I got to put that up and put it down. I'm in my room right now. The inflatable mattress is right It's right. Hold on. Let's see. See, there's the inflatable mattress, which is leaning up against the wall now.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're living in a.
My kids at the time were living in Chicago, and I flew to Chicago to see my daughter. Then I fly back out to the Caribbean, get on a ship. So I basically just was. It was almost like being a road comic. You ever when you lived on the road?
A year or so, however long, you would not even have a roommate. Like you go crash it. Like sometimes there'd be like 3 comics that work a lot. They'll have a 3-bedroom, even though they're only staying in.
No, I know some guys that did that. I didn't do that because I had I had the girls for part of the year, so I wanted to make sure I had a place. So I was paying for an apartment here in the Valley. I live in the Sherman Oaks. I was paying for an apartment, but I was just never home. I would do 4 or 5 months at a time and be gone, and then come home, and then my daughters would fly in and spend a week or two with me at my house.
Well, I know a few comics like that. One guy's like, he was spending $2,000 a month, and he finally he said, I'm spending $25,000 a year on this apartment that I've been 25 days in the past 12 months.
Right. Well, I kept. One of the reasons I kept it was my oldest moved in with me about a year ago. So she goes to college out here in the Valley. She's going to LAVC. So for her, it was perfect, dude. She had her own apartment. If she's like 18, I was gone constantly. Yeah, it was perfect. Yeah, good for her. And I was paying the bills. Yeah, it was great. Plus, she was like a decent kid. But my
daughter's that way too. She's pretty good, like with even substance things. She doesn't smoke a lot of pot. She doesn't drink a lot. And then beyond that, so she's not an angel. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
She doesn't have big, blow up, screw up type thing.
Dude, good for you, man. Mine are the same way. Mine are about that level where they make your basic teenage fuck ups, and you're like, all right, whatever, that's cool. I get it. But they're not shooting up heroin with 3 strippers and driving down the beach or anything like that.
Yeah, I'll speak to you.
Well, the kids aren't doing that. You know what I mean? I'm like, do as I say, not as I do. So me and Cinnamon are going to go out for the weekend. That's what I usually say.
I was a little fearful. I remember just when you find out you're going to be a dad, and I'm like, oh man, I am not. I've always loved kids. Honestly, even when I was like an older kid, I was always kind to smaller kids. I just like them. They're honest and kind, usually. But once as a comic, I knew a child was coming. I'm like, how the fuck am I going to do this? And it worked out fine. Like I remember I was like sitting up with my best friend, and we're just we're having some cocktails, and here's the thing: I was 30 years old, so it wasn't like I was 16 and in high school. I was 30, and I had gotten my girlfriend pregnant, or she trapped me, whatever. And then
still going that old lie.
Whatever. So.
She's like the little angel and devil on your shoulder.
Yeah.
She covers both sides.
So I remember thinking, okay, so I'll do stand up at night, and then during the day I'll sell shoes at Neiman Marcus. Like I was trying to get her out of balance,
try to balance it out.
Yeah, but then it worked out fine. Right, like she was my ex-girlfriend. And we had a rendezvous. You know how sometimes that happens. You kind of have a rendezvous after you break up, right?
I read that.
Yeah, so we did that a couple of times, and then we realized we weren't really ready to get back to being serious. And so we broke it off. And then a couple of months later, I got a phone call when I was in Las Vegas with this girlfriend of mine. And she's all snarky. She goes, some woman's on the phone, says she's your girlfriend. I'm like, I don't got a girlfriend. That's ridiculous. And I get on there. She's like, oh, hey, how you doing? I said, I'm doing great. And then she said, when you get back here, we have to talk. And I said, okay, cool. How's everything else? She said, fine.
That's a shitty call.
Yeah, so my girlfriend comes over, but I'm so naive. I have no idea what she wants to talk about or why she wants to talk to me, because we were one.
Yeah.
Like a sweet departure. And so she comes over and she looks great. And I start making out with her, right?
Yeah.
Start making out with her.
You got to the making out before she dropped the bomb on you about being pregnant?
Yeah,
I guess that's one way to break the news to you. All right. That's kind of cool.
After I made out with her, I'm like, hey, what do you want to talk about anyway? And then she's like, what do you think I want to talk about? And I swear to God, this is what I told her. I said, well, we're both very busy, so we can just date different people, and then I can just sleep with you when it's convenient, or sleep with
Did
each
you
other.
say Did you say those words seriously?
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
Wow,
we're
that's
both busy. We'll just have sex when it's convenient for either one of us.
sweet.
Yeah.
Friends
He's
with
like,
benefits.
no.
Yes, again.
Get out of here, heckler.
Was that your heckler? Was she any?
Manager, get this person a Shirley Temple. What the code word you'd use sometimes?
The Shirley. Hey, can we get 2 Shirley Temples for table 6?
Yeah. Get out of here. Yeah, then she's like, no. And I said, oh, man. Okay. I said, well, I won't get married for that reason, but whatever you decide is fine with me. And she said, well, I'm going to keep it. And I said, okay, well, the best we can hope for is a miscarriage, right? No, that's not what I said. You know what? Why do you always grimace when I do that joke? I would never say that.
Why do you grimace when you said that joke? We just lost 5 followers.
No, I just, yeah. I just lost
Click, delete. People are actually thumbs downing the video now. How is that even possible?
Sorry about that. That was fun. No, I said, okay, that's fine. And then right before Lamaze, went and baby came out. And I'll tell you it was interesting because were you in there when your children were born? You have daughters, right?
Yeah, I have. I have a good story about that. Yeah, I saw the first one born. The second one, I was shooting a commercial while she was born. But the first one, I was in the room, dude. I was there. Yeah, I was there for the whole deal. It wasn't vaginal, no, it was C-section. And when it happened, they go, "It's a girl," and I was sitting up front in front of they put a thing by her head, When they do a C-section, they put a big thing up, and I'm there, and she's out, and they go, "It's a girl," and I stand up and I go, "Yay!" And I look down, like right inside of the whole area, bro, right inside the whole. I saw everything, the whole belly. Oh yeah, they're standing there, and I'm like, oh, and I saw parts of my wife I never wanted to see. I saw her kidney. We were talking about a kidney earlier today. I saw her kidney. I saw her intestine.
Kind of bizarre. A lot of those things that make us mature a little bit, you're like, okay. Like even when you're changing the diapers, you're like, okay, got to get used to poop and not be a juvenile about it.
Yeah, right.
So
right.
like that's kind of pragmatic and easy to do. But when my daughter came out of my wife's vaginal canal, or she was my fiance at the time, her genitalia was all puffy, And the doctor's like, "Oh, it's a girl." I go, "No." I don't think so. That's not.
I don't think so. That's the. I'm sorry, doctor. I need to step in here.
That's what I thought because it's so puffy. It's hard to decipher a little bit when they're newborns.
Sure.
And then he goes, "No." I go, "Okay." Because I realized like what I said. I'm like, "Oh, he probably knows better." Like you said, he probably knows better than me.
Sure.
Being a doctor.
Being the whole education thing. Degree, paperwork on the wall. Anyway,
you know how it is. You know how life is. It worked out fine. My wife and we almost got divorced. I got divorce papers in the cupboard right now. When I had moved out 6 years ago, we were separated.
Yeah,
and I think we just got to close this out because neither one of us are happy. And then she called my bluff, and I came home. I came by the pad one day, and there was this thing in the mail from Orange County courts. And I open it up, I'm like, oh man, but we're getting along now. And we're in couples counseling. So I hid the divorce papers. Also, I didn't want to lose my health insurance. Let's be serious. And so.
Oh, you're such a romantic.
I'm a hopeless romantic at heart. But I put them but it's surprising because normally I would think during this quarantine, we bicker, but you know how you get with somebody, you're like, okay, that's a level of bickering that we do now and we move on, right?
Sure, yeah.
It doesn't have the intensity or the veracity or the meanness.
It's your relationship, bro. It's whatever your pattern is. It's an acceptable pattern of, right.
Yeah. Plus, I think I've gotten older, so maybe I helped her mature more, because she was very juvenile when I met her.
Sure.
But now she works for some company. She's I guess a low-level exec, you'd call it, or kind of. Is that what you call yourself, low-level?
No.
Now, are the divorce papers in the cabinet? Are they being
Should I
hidden?
go get them?
Are they
Should I go
used?
get 'em?
Yeah, you had them. Look at them; they're the best. Dude, I thought you were hiding them. Or do both of them use them as a threat on certain occasions? Like, do you bring them out when you're fighting? You go, right here. Give me a pen. Give me a pen.
Give me that Sharpie.
I'll show you. Permanent ink, you asshole. I'll show you.
No, she hasn't seen them since I put them away. Because then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, oh man, I'm such a mess. I better try to work this out. And then I went to couples counseling.
I stole them back.
Kind of worked. Oh, you have them now?
Oh, she's got them. Good for her. She's gonna hang on to them. Do you?
Son of a bitch.
How?
How
How did you get that?
Heckler's coming into your show filing for divorce.
If she's smart, you know what she should do? She should make copies of them and put them in every room in the house so that they're always in arm's reach. They're always in arm's reach at any given moment of the day. You know what I mean?
Believe me, she has more than enough reason to do that. But we're kind of left to our own devices now on the quarantine thing. A substantial portion of her family have all been infected recently, so they're all quarantined. A family of like a husband, wife, and some kids. 7, I guess, altogether. They're quarantined, and then she has another portion of her family that are quarantined. And the thing is, we're both negative. Negative is what we want to be, right?
Yes, I believe so.
So we're both negative.
Wait, let me check. They might have changed. They change the news all the time. Let me double check. Yeah, yeah, it's negative. Negative is good.
Yeah, but so we're somehow we have not bickered as much. Like the bickering you heard earlier was just our kind of friendly bickering that we do for recreational purposes.
Sure, yeah, right. Of course. Then it entertains both of you.
If I'm watching the game and she's watching something else, I say, hey, you know what? We haven't argued all day. What do you say you turn off that bullshit Beverly Hills Housewives?
Yeah.
Those fucking that are fucking sensitive. Watch some real something with substance. Turn on that NFL. Let's get this party going.
There you go. Or you got 20 minutes to kill before the game, and you're like, hey, we haven't thrown down in a while. Let's cut that. I got 20 minutes to kill. Let's give it a shot. What are you doing? What's with that shirt? And just go for it. Just start going.
What's with that shirt? I thought Kmart went out of business. Oh, that's where you got the shirt.
Oh, does that come in men's? Oh, you son of a... Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Oh, man. But it's been quite an adventure. So the thing I don't like is, and I know it's a necessary evil, I don't like the mask like a lot of people. I have trouble because I wear glasses, getting fogged up.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
But I don't have an issue with it. I go to the supermarket, I put it on, I don't make a fuss, that kind of thing. But, it's a slight inconvenience. But for that reason alone, I don't go out and about like I did. Like this might would have been the only summer maybe in 10 years where I've only gone to the water maybe 3 or 4 times.
Dude, that's kind of killing me. I hear
like swimming in the ocean. Good for you.
It's what?
They're not this good. I like swimming in the ocean. It kind of opens you up.
No, we used to go we went all the time. Yeah, dude, this has been a weird summer. I mean, it's been weird, but dude, I haven't been to the beach. We went a couple times at night when things started to open up because my daughters are really big. My youngest just moved here, so she's really into the beach, and we would go at night just to walk at night to get some air. That's all we did. We only did it like 2 times, so.
Oh, yeah, because I think with Chicagoans, the beach is sort of like a novel thing, for a little while.
Right.
And once it's there, it's like every Californian, like, oh yeah, I'll go there when I want to.
Yeah.
After a while, it's not.
Well, I think it's like that for me, for her, for my youngest, because they grew up here, and then when we got divorced, my ex moved back to Chicago. So my youngest has been living in Chicago for the last 5 years. So when she moved back here, she's been dying. She was a beach kid growing up. She loved, she just loved the beach and the valley and hanging out, and so all she talks about is the beach. So that's all she wanted to do when she got back here, and she moved back here in March. When everything gets shut down.
Would you let your daughter, or like when you were taking them to the beach when they were, let's say, like 12, 13, and that age where they don't want you sitting with them?
Yeah.
Would you go kind of where you go, all right, I'll sit like 10, 20 yards over. So you can.
No, I was always lucky that way because I never wanted them out of my sight. You know what I mean? It's just I don't
Yeah.
want at the beach.
She wanted me out. My daughter wanted me out of her sight.
Yeah, but then I understand that. But and I get it. Like I know when they're sick of me too. I get it when they're like, Dad, I don't want to. And now that they're older teenagers, I'm kind of cool. I'm cool with that. But even then, I'm like, well, you guys got to be aware of what's around you. You know what they do? They walk around Ventura Boulevard with earbuds in, and don't really pay attention to what's going on. And I'm like, you got to be careful, man. As a young woman, you got to be careful to be walking around doing anything. We almost had Anna snagged from us in Venice when she was 5. Someone tried to steal Anna. Yeah, it was a whole scam they ran. We were at the beach, and it was me, and we were at the beach with Anna, and Anna was in this playground area in Venice, and this woman came up and said something about her being really cute, and Vesna was trying to get something out of the backpack, and the girl said, I'll keep an eye on your daughter, and Vesna goes, no, I think we're good, and we caught some guy walking up near her, and we saw the guy, and I'm like, who's the guy? And the woman ran, and then the guy ran. Whoa. Yeah, and we were like, and Vesna and I were like, what was that? And it was just a total, dude, it was creepy. It was a whole look the other way thing. And you knew it was creepy when this woman we just met was like, I'll keep an eye on your daughter. And I'm like, hey, screw you. Keep an eye on my daughter. I don't even know who you are.
Yeah, I hear that from quite a few parents. You'd be surprised that have had close calls with someone trying to snatch their kid. It's much more prevalent than you think.
It happens all the time. In those beach communities especially, there's so many people, before you know it, you look and, there's a kid gone and you don't know it. That's why with I was always I always knew, I was really paranoid about watching the girls constantly.
Well, the young girls too, because they're filling their oats when they're like 13, 14. Sometimes they'll walk around with their bathing suit. Like in Seal Beach, the downtown is right next to the pier.
Yeah.
So they'll get something to eat off the beach. And I'm like, no, you got to cover up in a towel. I don't want you. You're walking down in front of 3 bars to get to that burrito place.
Yeah.
And creepy men in there and creepy women. And it's not, dude, one time we were on Seal Beach Pier, and I was being, fatherly, but trying to be, give her a little free rein.
Right.
On one side of the pier, I'm on the other. Now it's like, I don't know, she's doing fine all day, check on her sporadically. And then about 4 o'clock, I go, okay, we should wrap it up. So I go over there, and there's a dude who's like 40 laying down next to my daughter and her friends, right?
Oh, geez.
So she's got my daughter has one male friend who's her age, and then 3 girls her age, and then this guy who's 40. And I walk up, like, hey, how's everything going? I go, hey, who's this motherfucker? Right? And I was like, what the fuck? And the guy tried to sleepy-eyed, starts going, good. And she's like, Daddy, be nice. That's just so-and-so. I'm like, really? Why the fuck isn't he with the people that are 18 or his fucking age? Yeah. What's he doing with all these people? Hey, dude, get up. You got to get the fuck out of here. Like, that was exactly the assertiveness and the tone of my voice. And I meant it. I would have opened them up.
Yeah.
And the thing is, children can be so nice and wonderful, but they can be somewhat naive to the ways of the world.
They're totally naive.
Yeah, and I'm like, Bianca, there's no reason for that guy to being late because, oh, Daddy's just a beach bum. I go, yeah, but he's also probably a pedo.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to keep your guard up. It's not okay for that guy to be laying down next to you guys.
Well, why do you want to hang out? I don't want to hang around with 13-year-old kids. You know what I mean? Why would any adult want to do that? There's only one reason why an adult wants to hang out with a group of 13-year-olds. You know what I mean? It's not good.
I don't even like being in a room with the child alone. Under 18. Like, I just don't.
Right.
Not to have any kind of, attraction. Just
not because I don't trust myself.
You're 17 and a half. None of that. But I mean, it's more, things are so bizarre now in this day and age. I don't want to get accused.
Yeah.
Children be bizarre and maybe make an accusation or whatever. So you just keep it. Even when I was on the road before COVID, sometimes I'd work with women on the road and they invite me to their room to have a drink, or wine or smoke pot.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, let's just meet, because even though I trust them and love them, they remain nameless, but just like 2 or 3 girls, and these are dear friends. And I'm like, no, I just can't because it's a slippery slope in this day and age. And, it's he says, she says, and, women usually are telling the truth. So, I mean, most of the time the women are telling the truth. It's a few isolated cases like Chris Hardwick or whoever they had received, falsely accused. But overall, the men are guilty. And so once someone stigmatizes you with that kind of accusation,
well, you're screwed.
Even if you exonerate yourself, you're still screwed.
Well, you do. Everybody takes advantage of the system. So once people start paying more attention to the people who are really, really being damaged or hurt, then someone's going to jump on board and go, "Hey, I can take advantage of this situation and totally."
Yeah.
So that's what you got to be aware of. I used to teach kids acting and comedy and stuff. And one of the things they taught us early on, we had to take a class for it and stuff. And one of the first things they teach you is always have an assistant. They go, you need to have an assistant with you at all times. Never be alone with like a kid ever. And just for the accusation thing, where they're like, because the second it comes up and it's an issue, you lose. No matter, you know what I mean? You're going to lose no matter what. So, and there have been stories. Go ahead.
No, you were going to say.
There have been teachers have gotten in trouble before, people, and even on cruise ships, they tell you the same thing. There's a rule on the cruise ship: if you don't get on an elevator with just a kid, you're like, you know what? I'll wait. I'll take the stairs. I'll wait for another elevator. All it takes is one, especially from a cruise ship. That's more of a corporate thing, because if they approach you from that scenario, then they can sue the corporation and go, oh, my daughter was whatever. And you can't tell me there wouldn't be a parent out there that would teach their kid to lie. You know what I mean? There's weird people out there, man, that take advantage of the system. So you
say, did you massage your shoulder? Anything like that.
Yeah.
To kind of, it's disconcerting, but also it's funny. It's not funny, but it's bizarre how prevalent that is. Like after the OJ case, when they instituted that new law, whenever there was a domestic call, the man automatically goes to jail. Right.
Right.
Which was kind of unfair, but truthfully, it's not. If you're looking at those situations, 95% of the time, or over 90% at least, the men are at fault. The man is doing something he shouldn't be doing, either physically or whatever.
Of course.
So I kind of agreed with that, to be honest, even though I've had arguments with my wife that weren't exactly pretty. So I learned just to leave, grab a suit of clothes and then just leave, go one of my side chicks and let them
to help you get through that tough time. Smart man. I like how that works.
Back to that where I was.
Yeah. And you're like, this is bullshit. I'm going to go see Yolanda. You get your shit together and I'll be back in about an hour and a half.
You're going to get it together. I'm going to go have some sandwiches with Yolanda. There's going to be a ball game on when I come back.
When I come back, I better not see laundry in this basket. Oh, jeez. We just lost the rest of our viewers. They're gone. Oh, they all left.
I lose them all. I lose them all the time, believe me. I have I think I want to get so here's what I want to ask you. Sorry.
Yeah.
This is a technical question.
Oh, shit.
Why did you go with a banner instead of one of those virtual things?
The green screen? I thought about it. I don't like, I tried the green screen a couple times. I had it for a while, but then I couldn't get the green screen to work behind me properly. You know what I mean? That I couldn't get to work with the camera. And it turned out to be more difficult to wrestle with the green screen. And then I was like, well, you know what? If I just get a banner, I can use the same banner all the time.
Yeah, I actually like the banner. Right.
I like
the green screen.
You can tell a green screen. You can tell there's a green screen. I've seen people. You know what? Before I did the show, I'm doing it this way. I used to do it on Zoom, and on Zoom you can do a virtual one. It's easy to plug one in and out. You don't even need a green screen on Zoom. Sometimes it's kind of an easy setup to do. But
yeah, that's what Carson was. He had all kinds of backgrounds that he would just push a button.
Who?
He ended up just keeping like a Carson background. Greg Wilson.
Oh yeah, no, I had a bunch of stuff. I had some sports ones and some other things, and you can just add them in and move it out and stuff. I don't know. I just know I can tell a green screen when I see it, man, and I don't like the way it looks. So I was like, I'm gonna get a thing, and I use it for this show 90% of the time, and then for other stuff I do others, like I'm doing a streaming stand-up show tomorrow that I might do a green screen for that. I got a whole bunch of setup stuff, so I wanted the
Have you done a lot of the Zoom shows or the virtual shows?
I've done I've done two Zoom shows for flappers, it's like a set show where there's other comics, and then I've done 4 of my own. I call them Schmidt show. It's a Schmidt show where it's just me doing stand up, and I'm doing one tomorrow on YouTube because I'm going on the road next week. So it's my first gigs in 6 months. So
Where are you off?
I'm doing Looney Bins 2 weeks. I got Oklahoma City next week, and then Wichita the week after. So, and it's
is Wichita the room that has the green room attached to the club? No, not the green. The condo.
No, I want to say that's Tulsa. I think that's Tulsa. Yes,
okay.
I'm almost 100% sure it's Tulsa. That's really cool. You can go out the back door and go up the stairs. Dude, you can be in the room in like a minute.
Yeah, but also like have a comedy club at home.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Like, okay, when I be back, just
yeah, I would go down in the afternoon and have a beer with the bartender. You know what I mean? And then just walk upstairs. I'd go watch a football game upstairs and come downstairs. It was great.
Have you done that thing? With that, you've done that setup. With the,
yeah, it's the same. It's what do you call it? It's the same gig. It's Looney Bin. So he's got 4. So he's got Tulsa, Little Rock, and then the 2 I'm doing next, Oklahoma City and Wichita. But Tulsa's the one with the green rooms right in the same club. You can actually hear the music for the show start in the kitchen when you're upstairs and you're getting.
Do they have you take a temperature or stuff like that? I know every state's different.
I have no idea what to expect, man. This is my first venture out to do anything. I'm pretty sure, if I read correctly, that Wichita and Oklahoma City, there's no COVID there. I think that's what I read.
Oh, like they have like next to no.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm saying there's none. I'm just saying they just act like there's none. They don't. There's some cities where they're like, some cities they act like there's nothing wrong. And I think that one of those might be that. I asked Larry, the guy that runs Oklahoma City, I'm like, they're doing their capacity low. Like they can only have so many.
Oh, yeah, they do like half capacity.
But he says he can have up to 100 people in that room. And he's like, we've had 100 for the weekend shows.
Well, in that area, truth be told, there are some states and some cities that such low infection rates.
Right.
It's much less. You're not really taking a big chance.
Well, they're not. Looking like here in like L.A., there's so many people crammed into this area, bro. I think that's a big part of it. If you're in a smaller town, they just don't have that many, and I guess that's it. I don't know. I'll know more when I get there. I've talked to some people that have been there, and they said it's cool, but it's weird. They go, it's different. You know what I mean? Because you feel.
Still that suspect. Everyone has that perspective on it until the president got infected today. Him and his wife. Until they got infected, a lot of the Trumpers didn't. I say Trumpers because I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm a Republican. I voted for Reagan, but I am very and I'm pro-choice, but I was always about personal accountability, and these Trumpers are not Republican conservatives like I was.
Right.
They're not Reaganites. They're Trumpers.
Well, there's a big chunk of my family is Republican conservative, so I come from that conservative background. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, there's the Trump because they don't pay attention to nothing. They're just they're those guys. They're the
yeah. It is like that because even when you see the trucks and stuff, you're like, what's with the big? Because it almost looks like North Korea. You're like, well, why do you feel you have to have this huge banner on your truck? Like, we never saw it with Reagan, Barack, any of the Bushes.
Sure.
That's a strange thing. I mean, I kind of at first I thought, you know what, Trump, that's an experiment that could work a little bit. See, because we had a billionaire in Los Angeles who was mayor, Reagan,
right,
and he did a great job as mayor. Sometimes it works, but then we had Arnold Schwarzenegger, as governor, and it was a train wreck.
Yeah, right.
And I forgot Jesse Ventura, I think, was the guy in Minnesota. And he did
yeah. And
once in a while, you get someone who's out of the beltway, and it just doesn't work. And I think that's what Trump basically turned into.
Yeah,
it just was an experiment, didn't work. But you have these people that are just steadfast, like more of a leader of a cult.
Well, they're fanatics. They're actual fans or fanatics.
Yeah.
They just could why have a conversation with them about policy or something. because there's no policy with them. They're just he's gonna make it great. I'm like, can you explain in any way how he's gonna make it great? You know,
Yeah.
like he's gonna build a wall. Okay, can you anything else besides the wall? I mean, do you have
Yeah,
any?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But the part where you said called out fake news, that was kind of accurate, but only because there's so many more websites and stuff that can, monetize themselves by spewing,
Right.
the more false stuff you spew and the more,
It's all about ratings and numbers and likes. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
not
and the
about
more,
giving you news information.
yeah, people want conflict, so they want to create conflict, and that's what they make a lot of money off of conflict. But this thing today, I think, is a good thing. I'm not saying I know he's. I mean, it's where my wife gets mad because she's like, "How do you have compassion for him when he let those kids in cages die and some other people die?" And I'm like, "Well, he still has a son, and the thing I hope for is that, and this is why I say he's like Andy Kaufman. Some people think he's pretending. I don't think he's that calculated. I think he's calculating, but I don't think he's that good.
Right.
That he's pretending he's got it, and then he's going to go to Walter Reed Hospital, and he's going to drink some magic stuff that his lobbyist manufactured.
Of course, yeah. It's going to turn into an infomercial. He's going to be holding a big orange drink.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, he can come out and go, "Wear your mask. Hey, I took it lightly, and look what happened to me. I came around. Maybe you should too." And then the Trumpers will go, "See? Yeah. He evolved. He realized that he made a mistake, and now he's sorry."
Yeah.
But because he's never actually apologized for anything.
Well, I don't think here's what I agree with you, because I don't think he calculates or plans anything really. I think he's kind of a bully and a bullshit artist, and he does stuff and it blows up, and he BS's his way through it or bullies his way through it, and that's him every single day. And I just think that's...
And the left is sort of his fault, right? Because there's certain times he'll say stuff like, and I know he's screwing around. I know he's fucking around. Like he said something, I forgot it was. It was just a joke, right?
Yeah.
And then they blew it up out of proportion on CNN and everything else and wherever. I'm like, look, it was a joke. Like he did something where he was reading a letter and he said, "Do you want me to read it out loud to you?" And they're like, "Oh, the media's all happy because it's a press junket." He's like, "No." He says, "No." Yeah. It's a joke. It's it's like, no, there was so who cares if his timing's off?
Yeah.
But obviously, you should be able to decipher, even though, people hate him. I mean, I don't like him. I don't hate him, but I definitely dislike him.
Well, I think they pay attention to the wrong things. I think like the media is turned into a second grader, like across the board. Like if you remember your kid and somebody would said, so you would go, "What are you gonna have for lunch?" "Oh, I'm gonna have I'm gonna eat my shoe." I mean, you said you're gonna eat your shoe. You said you're going to eat your shoe. Hey, everybody, he's going to eat a shoe. He's like, "No, dude, I meant to say egg sandwich, but my shoe fell off and I dropped my..." "No, hey, Billy's going to eat his shoe." And they don't let it go. And they just keep going. And you're just like, "No, I didn't mean you're going to eat your shoe." That's what the media has turned into, I think.
And I think he would feed into it because there was some parts of it were kind of masterful because he could just say something bizarre like, "All right, from now on, Americans that are left-handed will have to wait an additional 30 days for their whatever," right?
Right.
You hear he's doing the left-handers?
Yeah.
He created a law. He's like, no, he can't create a law. There's a whole process.
And they bring in experts. They bring in experts, and then experts and single moms that are left-handed, and they're crying. They're like, "You don't realize my left hand,"
Yeah. So I mean, both sides are kind of at fault with all the hysteria.
Yeah, they overplay all that. Where you go, how about we calm down and let's talk about the Dreamers. That's a very important issue. That's something that's very important. Let's do that. No, the left hand thing is very important. No, it's not.
Who cares about the Dreamers?
Yeah.
What about I did 2 tours in Vietnam and the left hand has never hurt me. In fact, saved lives.
God bless my left hand. You can have my left hand when you pull it from my cold, dead body.
Hey, let me ask you something. So your kids watch SNL?
No, actually, they don't. My kids are all into TikTok. You know what they watch? Actually, my youngest is binge watching The Office for the millionth time in the other room.
Oh wow, yeah. My daughter likes that and New Girl. She can watch them all
Oh,
day.
she didn't get into New Girl.
And I'm
She,
like, why are you watching? You've watched it 4 times, but I get it.
that's what I got. Yeah, but I don't get how they watch it 15 times. She's watched every Office like 15 times.
I like when they watch The Office because it's smart, and it's
Yeah,
like, oh,
that's true.
you're getting kind of cool offbeat humor.
It's at least
You know,
it's at
that's-
least clever comedy and it's funny and you're like, oh, it's cool. It's better than watching something else that's crap or whatever.
Sometimes when people, the thing is, like, you're right. A lot of young people, that's just organic. They don't watch a lot of network stuff because it doesn't speak to them or whatever it is.
Right.
It's just archaic on a certain level. I like so everyone's all excited about it. I forget who the person was because Kamala Harris, Maya Rudolph, I think. Like, oh, she's gonna have such a field. Like,
yeah, she does.
you know,
Kamala Harris. Yeah.
Right? Everyone gets excited. Like, so as soon as someone gets voted into office in some capacity, everyone's like, oh, Cecily Strong's gonna have it made as so and so. Like there's like this consensus that kind of elevates to the top. And it's funny. Even though SNL, to some people, they don't think it's, that happens every generation. They don't think it's as good as it used to be when it was
Right.
Will or Belushi or whatever generation.
I haven't watched him much lately because of the COVID thing. But before, I love the news desk, and I watch. Who was it? Kate thought when they thought Hillary was going to win, they thought that was going to be that Kate McKinnon was going to be doing Hillary for forever.
Yeah, and she's actually my favorite sketch performer on there now. I forgot her name.
Kate McKinnon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kate McKinnon.
She's great. She's amazing in every sketch she's ever done. She's phenomenal.
Yeah.
She's a really great comedic actress. Yeah.
She's your own person. There's no one from the before that you could compare her to. It's a very unique one. Like she's
layered. She does a lot of different type of characters like that. She does everything from that alien abduction character she plays all the time. You ever see that one? I love that sketch where there's three.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, you had a picnic. She's smoking a cigarette.
Yeah. It's weird. Like, there's certain things they did on SNL back in the day that they probably couldn't do now because people would get pissed. Remember Buck Henry, of course? Buck Henry?
Yeah.
So, remember he used to do this sketch, and it would be Lorraine Newman and Gilda Radner. And they'd say, "Hey, your uncle Will, he's gonna babysit you tonight, girls."
Oh right. Oh yeah, the creep. Yeah. Yeah.
And then they'd stand up on the coffee table and he'd take pictures under their skirts.
Hi, Uncle Will. Yeah. Oh my God, you're right.
And everybody would laugh.
Oh my God.
The pedophile.
I forgot about that. You know what else? You know what else they couldn't do is
crazy.
Do you remember the Continental that Christopher Walken used to do? The Continental.
Oh,
it was a character where he would have a woman into his house and he would offer her some champagne, and it was all about him creeping on her. And there was a couple shots where he'd go in the other room. There'd be a double mirror, and he'd light a cigarette, and he'd see him watching her while she was in the bathroom, and just stuff like that. He was constantly trying to rape her. Is what he was doing. He's trying to get her drunk so he could take advantage of her. And then
it was all for.
Now people would laugh. Look, he almost got her.
Yeah, isn't that strange?
Yeah.
But even Love American Style, which is before your time, but there was like
no, I remember that show. The three they would do the three couples or whatever, right?
Yeah, they kind of do 3 sketches or 3 vignettes.
Love American Style. Yeah, I love it.
And there would be these kind of really miniature joke sketches between the bigger stories.
Right.
And they'd show this one guy. I wish I could remember his name. He, kind of a famous character actor, but he'd always be in a bar, and then the woman would look the other way, and then he'd put a pill in her drink, and then the crowd would laugh. It was so.
Look! I wonder what's gonna happen. I wonder if she's gonna figure it out. Yeah. Oh no! Don't drink. Oh, she's drinking. Well,
he gave her 2 Quaaludes. What's gonna happen now? And it was. Yeah. And everyone is so complacent about it, and until, of course, you know, they weren't.
until all suddenly it wasn't fun. None of it was funny. You're like, oh, none of that's funny anymore. Okay.
I did a couple of sketches on In Living Color right back in the day, and one of the sketches, which anyone could do now, Chappelle could do, anyone's done a lot worse. They had a sketch where I was playing like a surfer dude, right? And Jim Carrey was George Bush, right?
Yeah.
George Bush. And so, so it's this thing, blue blocker,
Sunglasses?
it's called black blocker sunglasses.
Geez. Black blocker. Okay, cool.
Blocker sunglasses. And so it's Alexandra Wentworth. She's playing the person, the infomercial girl on the boardwalk. And she, excuse me, sir. She says, what do you do for a living? I go, me, I'm a surfer. I'm a surfer dude. What's going on, bro? Right? And she's like, oh, that's great. She goes, are you familiar with black blocker sunglasses? I know, I haven't seen them. And then, so I put them on, and there's these old black guys playing chess, like on the boardwalk. So when I put on the black blocker sunglasses, I go, whoa, it's like the black dudes just vaporized. He goes, it's to block out black people, right?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have to look at black people. But it was black writers, Keenan and Damon, like they're the ones that wrote it, you know, and Larry Wilmore, some of those guys. They wrote the bit. So Jim Carrey comes in as George Bush, and he puts them on, and he goes, look, Barb, no little brown ones, just 1,000 points of white, right? And then he goes, what about other minorities we don't want to look at? That's what Jim Carrey said.
Oh, God.
You know, we're glad you asked. We also have Jew blockers. And then there's like acidic Jews. And they like disappear. And the network came back there like, are you nuts? You can't. I think Jim Carrey tried to fight for the sketch, but the network almost got like they were pissed off. And it was so bizarre because you're like, well, it was Jewish writers and black writers that wrote it.
Yeah.
And it really kind of, you know, it wasn't that substantial, that kind of offensive thing.
It was just
that would pass muster now anywhere. That's nothing now. You know, anything like Chappelle has done tons of things like that, and even Keegan and Peele. You know, it's interesting now passes on what wasn't. You know, what was considered taboo.
You know, I'm amazed at one of the things the daughters and I do watch together is we watched the South Park special the other night, the pandemic special, and South Park and Family Guy. I'm amazed with the stuff they get away on those shows.
Oh wow! Yes. Oh, Family Guy.
Oh, dude, stuff. I mean, they go really far on those shows. I'm like, how do they get away?
They're cartoons and they're not real people in a way that it gives it a little more.
I don't know.
Attitude or something.
I don't know. They don't. I don't know. I don't get it. I mean,
dark twisted bits on there, right?
Oh, dude, it's really twisted. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. I mean, South Park's the worst, but I guess they get away with more because they're on Comedy Central. You know, maybe, but
yeah.
But maybe Family gets away with.
I mean, Family Guy and Simpsons. Simpsons supposedly predicted Trump's demise in one of their
they've predicted everything. I didn't know they predicted the demise because they're creepy. You've seen the video about him coming down the elevator or the escalator thing, right? That's
no. It's bizarre to me. I'm hearing just a lot of these things recently.
Dude, when he came out to announce he was running for president, he came out and announced he was going to run for president. It was literally a scene from The Simpsons. They had done it years before. He comes down the escalator and announces he's going to run for president, right down to the sideways banner behind him that somebody was holding. There's been a bunch of stuff on The Simpsons they predicted. It's a little weird.
That is bizarre.
I think witches run that show.
I wouldn't be surprised. Witches run my house. Witches run my house. I can't believe I'm stuck with this person. You know what? You should be able to trade off. And I love her. I like her. I mean, I don't love her. I like her. If she died, I'd cry for sure.
If she died, I'd cry. Well, that's sweet.
Yeah. But there should be some sort of a swap where you get to go, hey, you know what? We've been hanging out. it's been 6 months. Why don't you send your like not even sexual? You know what I mean? Just
Like a
why don't you send
timeshare.
or your
Like a-
husband or your boyfriend? Yeah,
Like a
now you
timeshare,
go
a little timeshare flip off.
keep things fresh because we're going to be doing this for at least a few months into 2021, right?
Well, no one saw
This-
COVID coming. Now they should make a whole. Well, there was that show Wife Swap. They should make that a real. You should almost make that like an Amazon service. Shouldn't you be able to go into Amazon and sign up for the Wife Swap service? And then a van pulls up, and then they just walk some woman up to your door, and they take your wife away and put her in the back of the van. They drive away.
Bezos could be the poster boy for that. Would he? Snake Lauren Sanchez
Yeah,
from her husband.
yeah.
She
Well, that
was
was perfect.
beautiful. She was always cool, and I always thought she was really kind of charismatic and beautiful too. You know, I really liked her style when she worked on the local news here.
Yeah.
But you see kind of a ladder climb where you're like, wait a minute, so you're now married to the richest man in the world?
Wow, that must be love.
Oh, that's his girlfriend? Take it easy. There's
Married half white soul.
look,
He's
she's
not gonna
gonna.
He's not going to get
Well,
married
she-
again. He gave away. She had to sign away a lot. He lost a lot in that. He lost a lot, and he's still okay. You know, right? Isn't
Yeah.
that the deal? He gave away
more
like,
money than he got
yeah,
before.
she's richer than God. You know, and he's richer than her. Yeah.
People were relegated to online because of the social distancing, so his business flourished.
Yeah.
Even after that, yeah, he gave her what, like 200 million or something.
Oh yeah, she's set.
A billion?
56.
How much did he give her?
I think it's 556.
All right, what are you, the research
No,
department?
I love the fact she knows exactly how much money she's got. That's the best part. But she's got. Look, I know exactly how much every rich divorced woman in this world has. I've got it all figured out.
Yeah, I know. I think she's waiting for me to hit it big.
She's waiting for you to hit it big. That's the best.
Yeah. That shit may have sailed. I'm looking to work for Amazon myself.
Yeah, I got to. Yeah, I hear you, brother. I got the side jobs aren't going to do it anymore.
Yeah, well, that's the I'm kind of preparing for. But here's the thing: I think they're going to coexist even after everything. It's never going to get back to a normal that we had before, because there is going to be probably another coronavirus that will come down the line.
Well, there's supposed to be 20 is supposed to be. I've been reading about COVID-20. It's supposed to be pretty bad. It's supposed to be worse than 19.
And they're like different, but they're different coronaviruses, right? Was H1N1 a coronavirus?
I think so. Yeah, yeah. Because that's why it's 19. They number them all. All of these are SARS. These are all certain. They're all certain parts of coronavirus. That, by the way, that's all the science I know. That's all I know is they're numbered. That's all I can help you with. I know there's been 19. That's all I can. That's as smart as I am. There's 19.
What do you know about hydrochloroquine?
Hydrochloro. Yeah, Trump's taking that right now. You know he is.
What do you know about pneumono ultramicroscopic pseudococcus?
I know that it's a cure for an ankle inflammation.
Oh, wow, you've really been doing your research.
I like to come in prepared, Gene.
I can see that.
Oh,
No,
man.
I know next year will probably be, I'm hoping, at like it'll be like flu and AIDS in a way. I mean, obviously it's not going to be sexually transmitted like AIDS or from body fluids, but
So it won't be like AIDS.
all the things are going to kind of level off, and as humans, we just have to coexist with it and know that there's going to be X amount of deaths every year due to that illness.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be part of the pattern, but everyone's going to change a lot of behavior patterns. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's not a good idea to cram 700 people onto a plane or into a
the other side too is going back to school. They won't have these classrooms with 40 kids. They're going to be forced to have a classroom with 20 kids.
Yeah,
like they should.
Yeah, like they should in the first place. You're right. Yeah, that's a great. You're right. There shouldn't be 36, 37 kids in a classroom. There should be 18, 20. You're right. You're absolutely right. That's what I'm saying. Maybe we've got to a point where we cram. It's like more is better. Cram them in, make the money, do the whatever. Maybe that's not good behavior.
Yeah, I think a lot of people adjust their priorities in life. I think through this. Also when you lose people, that makes you reevaluate your priorities or your values.
Yeah, right.
When you lose something to you. But I think we're going to end up with, so people go, oh, the Zoom shows. I'm not doing the Zoom shows. I'm like, look, the Zoom show, the comedy club, the cruise ships are going to be sparse for a minute before they go full bore, right? Because they're international, they might actually open up before the comedy clubs. But however it shakes out, even let's say a year from now, when it's shaken down as it can be, a year from now, I think the Zoom shows and the virtual shows, no matter what, those are now a part of the whole mosaic of stand-up comedy.
Yeah,
they're going to be 20% of the shows will be Zoom shows, which will technically still be live, on some level.
Well, I think I agree with you 100%. I agree with you completely. It's going to be, people are going to find ways to make the format funnier. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to be like, okay, it's a Zoom show. And at first you look at some of these Zoom shows and like, they're not that great. People are going to learn to work with what they have to work with. People make it work. So you're going to find a way to make that work and make it funny. And you're right. That's going to be part of the format moving forward. It's not going to.
I would imagine Celebrity Live and companies like that have deeper pockets, they'll be able to hone it down, franchise it a little better, having some resources that they can kind of hone it down a little quicker than independent artists. So, it'll be fine.
I kind of look in a little what?
I said I kind of look forward to it. I just have to adapt technologically. I'm so far behind the curve.
Well, I'm with you. That's why I got some of this tech stuff to make it better, because also I'm kind of looking forward to it moving forward. It's almost like a voiceover thing where if you can make a living and not leave your house, that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? But only from this aspect, I'm getting older. I don't want to be out in the clubs and traveling all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. Also, I didn't invest well, Gene, so I don't have a lot of money saved up. So I've got to find a way to make money when I'm 74. So if I can do,
I'm still married. She's got a 401k. I didn't get a 401k.
Well, you better not. Don't lose her, man.
Yeah, I got to hang on with dear life. Find those damn divorce papers, which surprises me. You never know. But the other thing too is you're right. Like, because when we're on the road, we look forward. Like, I never understood. Like, I was working with Fritz Coleman, right?
Yeah.
And it's about 10, 12 years ago, and we're at this casino. I forgot what it was. Anyways, it's a beautiful casino, right? And it was one of Bud Friedman's clubs he had for a minute. And Fritz Coleman, after his show Saturday, he got in his car and went home. And I'm like what? Oh, because he's telling me, he goes, I want to see his nice work. I go, you're leaving tonight? He goes, yeah. And I said, well, but it's nice here. Like, that's what I thought. And you forget, like, Fritz Coleman, because he's been a weather person for years, he's probably got $10 million. He's probably got like a beautiful $5 million home.
Yeah, that's
or what? He's got something beautiful,
right?
Because I never understood why would you leave this great hotel? Because those guys have homes that are nicer than the nicest hotel.
Yeah, right. Like, why would I stay? Why do I stay in this dump when I can go home?
Yeah, because generally we like being home, right? After you do 2 weeks on the road, don't you like? When I get home, I'm like, man, I'm gonna go sit in my patio. I'm just gonna relax for a couple of days, do gardening. Like, I'm gonna be at home.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that now, except of course, now we're on vacation too long. Now we're kind of that was good. 6 months is cool.
Yeah. You're like, I'm kind of tired of my patio.
Yeah. Fuck you, patio. That's what the church is.
This sucks. There's got to be something else going on. No, I was like that. I'd be on like a 3-month ship thing, and people would call me. I'm like, dude, you want to go out to the? And I'm like, no, actually, I don't. I want to stay home in my house for the next 3 days and sit in my chair. Yeah. My thing was my chair. I just want to sit in my chair. I would like to sit in my chair, maybe watch some TV, relax, make my own food, have a nice meal. And,
Yeah, you know to people, right? Because they'll ask you, I mean, as comics, we can go out every night. There's always an engagement party or a bachelor party or a friend got a special or whatever happened,
Right.
And I'm like, no, it's like, hey, you should come out here, man. It's a fucking blast. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to have a blast.
Yeah,
I do not.
I don't want to have a blast.
A blast is what I'm not looking for.
Right. Well, plus after you've been doing it a while, I would get that after a show. After a show, people are like, "Hey, you want to go out? We're going to go do some stuff and get some drinks." And I'm like, "No, I'm good." And they're like, "Why? Come on." They're like, after a show, people are like, "Come on, let's go out to this other club and we're going to hang out and we're going to go drink or this." I'm like, "No, I don't want to go do anything." And they're like, "Well, why?"
once a week. That was it.
Yeah.
I would do it like on the last day. On the last day of the gig, I would do it. But then sometimes I'd be like I was at the Dallas Improv, and the other comic, Greg Giraldo, he wanted to go hang. We were co-headlining. This is before I realized how really extremely talented Greg was.
Yeah.
Because I booked a gig and I said, Greg and I were friends, and I go, look, yeah, we'll co-headline, we'll alternate. I'll probably end up having to headline most shows because I don't think he'll be able to cover me. I was being serious.
Right.
And they flipped us the first night. They're like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
we're gonna have Greg close. I'm like, why?
Yeah. You're like, I've made a terrible mistake.
We were in Dallas, and then some of the wait staff, they want to go to a club, and I'm like, well, we're having drinks here, right? Inside the complex.
They're always free too. I'm always a big fan of
Yeah,
that.
and the hotel's across the street. I'll just take care for free. I'll go to sleep. I don't really want to. Also, it's like 1 a.m. So these people are going to get in their car and drive to a bar or club to be there for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's not worth it. So Greg ends up hanging out with someone, right? Meeting some chick.
Sure.
And some skanko. And
Skanko.
I go, dude, what happened to you last night? And he goes, oh, that chick. Oh, yeah, she was from the audience and she invited him out. And I said, no, I don't want to go. He goes, oh, that chick was nuts, man. She ended up staying the night, and fuck, man, she didn't know her address. I'm trying to call her a cab. Get her the fuck out of here. She doesn't know her fucking address. And she's leaving in the morning. Finally, she remembers her fucking address. And she goes, I'm leaving now. And I look at and she goes, I hear her leave, and I look over at my nightstand, and my $200 Calvin Klein glasses are missing, right? I go, well, first of all, why do you have $200 Calvin Klein sunglasses? Because it's kind of a lot, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I think it was 20 years. And he's like, I got a development deal, and I just fucking splurged and bought them because I ran downstairs, fucking cunt, just sitting there, got a taxi cab out front, and my sunglasses are right there on the lobby counter. Well, I'm trying to do his New York accent. He didn't mean cunt in a bad way. He meant it like the Australians.
The English would do it. Yeah, the English say it all the time.
Okay, you need to get out more. It's not a gender thing, but that was another reason. I don't want to come across as a sexist. So I got to clarify the statement. But that was like, to me, after he told me that debacle, I'm like, that's exactly why, I don't want to leave the club. I'll go out one night with the people I've met at the club that are cool or something, and and that's a wrap. It's like, it's more trouble than it's worth.
Right. Well, I used to do it all. I used to do it all the time. And one night I got into a car with a bunch of people in at a party, and suddenly it's 5 a.m. and people are passed out drunk everywhere. And I left the house and I had no idea where I was. And this is back before there was GPS. And I called and tried to get a cab. There are no cabs. So I just started walking. I started walking the way we came from, and it took me, I walked all the way back to the hotel. It took me an hour and a half to walk back to the hotel at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Just to get out of the situation? You said, fuck it, I'm just going to.
Just because I had to leave. I'm like, I can't stay here till tomorrow. I got to leave, and like, it was the worst night ever. And that was the last night. My rule now is don't get into a car with people I don't know after a show. I'm like, I'm not going. No, there's no reason for me to leave this establishment.
Yeah, I've been kidnapped a couple of times also because they go, oh, we'll bring the comic to our house.
Yeah, that's the thing. And then you're the guy. And you're like, no, I don't want to be the guy. I just want to have some drinks and hang out or whatever and relax. And especially if the hotel's where I'm at. Like if I'm staying within, say, 200 yards of where I'm at after the show, there's no reason for me to go anywhere. Like there's no reason for me to go that far away.
It can be handled in the hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah. And I know my room is closed. If there's anything goes wrong, I can be in my room in about 4 minutes. You know what I mean? If there's problems, chaos, gunfire, yelling, screaming, fighting, divorce papers, whatever fly, I'm going back to my room in 4 minutes.
I want to get out of this situation.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's precisely what it turns into too, man. And these guys, they kidnapped me. I think I was in New Mexico. I was in Albuquerque, and so the bartender and the bar back, and I want to go meet this girl, right? And a few of her friends. He goes, "Oh, we're gonna go meet with them later." I was all right, fine. And I should have went with her, but so this guy and his friend, they take me back to some house where there's like 15 people, right? They're, hey, we got the comic, and I made it pretty clear up front. So there's, and after I left, I could tell, I'm like, oh, here's 15 people that think I'm not funny.
I'm not selling an album in here.
Yeah, that guy, not selling any merch at this joint.
You ever seen Gene Pompa? That guy sucks.
Yeah.
Have you seen him? No, he was over for a party one night. He just sucked.
Yeah, they expected me to be on. I'm like, I just finished two 1-hour shows. Yeah. When I left, they were like mad. I was like pissed too. I'm like, why do you want to come and entertain you guys?
Yeah.
What can't you figure out? You work in a comedy club.
Yeah.
You've got to know a different persona from the talent once they leave the stage.
Yeah, please know that. Yeah. So no one was happy out of that night. No, everybody left disappointed.
We all lost. Everyone left. Needed a shower.
All right, man. Let me go. What time is it, man? Holy crap! It's 7:30. Oh my god. All right, man. We've been live for an hour and a half. That's pretty good. Let's go. I have viewers, and I need to go on here and make comments to some of them. Let me see if.
All right. 1,000 pardons for my swearing. We're trying to work on that.
No, but that is the first. I don't know if that's the first time the C word was ever told on here, but I did have Schubert on one day on like the 5th episode, and he broke the water on every swear word that really, it was all done within 2 minutes. Once Schubert was on, I figured Schubert put me up here, and I'm like, there's no way I can get back up there again for the swear word, so we're fine. Trust me. I'm not worried.
You know what? Schubert is so damn funny, and his act, and I love his act. It's really well crafted and everything.
Yeah.
But when you talk to him one-on-one, it's almost like Henny Youngman comes back to life. He's got so many like one-liners in his back pocket, front pocket, everywhere. Yeah. He just rat-a-tats him off.
Dude, he keeps going. He keeps coming at you. I love Schubert.
Yeah.
And he's very high energy, even off stage. He's right in your face, and you're just like, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Man, I'm so naive for Southern Cal. I've been too sheltered. I didn't even realize he had a Philadelphia accent until like 10 years ago.
There's a Philadelphia accent?
Yeah, he has like that Philly accent.
Oh, he does. You're right. Yeah, okay.
Where's that? I couldn't quite put my finger on it.
Yeah, that's I forgot. I never associated that with an accent before. I don't know why, but that's right. Because I know other guys from Philly that kind of have that same thing. I can't describe it, but yeah, that's Phil Schubert.
Now I got an album. Actually, I have an album out already called "Crude Rude Chicano Dude."
Do you?
It's on All Things Comedy, which is Spotify, I guess. Because did Spotify merge with? I also want to call it iTunes.
Vinstitunes?
With iTunes. No, not Institutunes. iTunes.
Right. iTunes.
Yeah, iTunes. Did they merge with Spotify, or there's no more iTunes or something?
iTunes is. It's
Apple
iTunes is still
Music?
around. No, it's still out there, right?
Apple Music.
Oh my God, you're killing me.
You guys don't know.
No,
It's Apple Music to me.
Well, Apple Music is the thing. I have an album that's in iTunes too, but Spotify and iTunes are different things, I think. But they're still they're both there. But your album is through All Things Comedy. That's the Bill Burr's thing, right? The what do you call it? Bill Burr and Madrigals.
Right. Oh, Madrigal, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is
Crude
it
Rude,
Crude Rude what?
Chicano Dude.
Chicano Dude. All right, good. What else? Good.
You know what's funny? A lot of you Chicagoans, I have a shirt that that I in a bit in my app where I say Chicano to the bone.
Yeah.
And when I wear the Chicano to the bone shirt and I run into a Chicagoan, they'll always go, "Oh, Chicago, bro!" And I'm like, "No, sis."
Oh, dude.
Chicago to the bone. But I say, no, it's actually Chicano.
Dude, I bought a hat. I bought a hat once that said 100% Chicano because it had a guy. It had a guy on it with sunglasses that looked like one of the Blues Brothers. So when I bought, I saw the hat and I go, "Oh, dude, I got to get that hat." So I wore the hat for months before someone said, "You're not Chicano." I go, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Oh, fuck." And so I know exactly what you're talking about. I wore the hat forever. I look like an idiot. I'm like, "Yeah, I love this hat." They're like, "You're not." I'm the opposite of Chicano. You know, I'm white, Irish, Southside Chicago. You know what I mean? The people, I was almost. If I wore that hat now, people would call me racist. They would like, "You're an asshole." Like, what do you mean?
Now everybody's woke.
Yeah,
go,
right.
You don't know.
Yeah, I would not. That would be racial. What do they call it? That's
a microaggression. That's a microaggression.
It is. It's a microaggression. It's cultural collusion. Cultural. Yeah, that's it. I can't do that. That's so I would be a lot.
I have a cousin who's got red hair and he's freckled. Well, Louis C.K. He's like a third Mexican or something, or a quarter Mexican. You know, Louis C.K. only spoke Spanish till he was like 5.
Really? He doesn't look. He doesn't look Spanish.
He's born in Mexico and he has a dual citizenship from Mexico and the United States. Oh. I know. I forget. I'm not supposed to talk about Louis because he's got a lot of trouble, and I understand. But I'm not glorifying what he did. I'm just saying.
You're just talking about his passport.
That's about red hair. People with red hair that are Mexican.
I like your wife is the voice of reason, but doesn't really fix anything. She just causes turmoil. You know what I mean? Like if you do something wrong, and she points it out, and you go, "Shut up." So you don't. It doesn't really help you. It just starts spurs.
I'm more diplomatic, and she's more bossy.
She literally starts an argument for no reason. You're absolutely 100% correct.
She does indeed. Thank you.
I don't know if I ever meet her, she's going to hit me now. I'm afraid. Wow. Okay. Everybody watch this whole show. My viewers watch this whole show. I don't have many viewers, but they're loyal. All right, man. We got to get out of here. It's been an hour.
Good question. I got a new album. So, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I did the album a year ago at the Punchline San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't, not Crude Rude Chicano Dude, this new album. And so I've been sitting on it now because I shot it with this amazing camera. I'm thinking of releasing it also like on YouTube, but still do the album. Anyways, so I've been sitting on this content. So the titles I'm trying to come up with, just give me one of these 3.
Okay.
I have Mexican American Beauty, right?
Okay.
And then
all right.
1,000 Pardons, right?
A what?
And 1,000 Pardons. Okay. 1,000 Pardons.
Right.
Another one is from Gene Pompa, From the Back of the Room.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And the last one is Pompa in Circumstance. Which one? You had 4. What did I say? 3? I meant 4.
You said 4. Yeah, you said 4. What was the first one again?
First one was Mexican American Beauty.
I think that was pretty good. I think I like Mexican American Beauty. Although, I like Mexican American Beauty, but I think having your name in there is smart. So Pompa and Circumstance is probably your best bet.
Pompa and Circumstance, okay.
Yeah, so I'd go with that. Having your name in there is always the best bet. That's why I have my name in the title of this podcast for whatever it's worth. But get your name in the title.
You got to work on that. Okay.
Get your name in the title. Smart. Yeah. Okay. So, but the name of the album again is Crude and
Rude Chicano Dude.
Okay. And where can people find it? Spotify? Where can they buy it?
No, they can. Forgive me. iTunes and All Things Comedy. I don't know where you buy albums now. It's on the All Things Comedy label, but I think I thought there was another one. iTunes and what else is there, Vince?
There's iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Oh no, not iHeartRadio. Which one?
I was thinking of Pandora. That's what I was thinking.
Pandora. That's it.
Yeah,
Pandora.
The other ones are separate entities.
Yeah, that's where all the albums are. The streaming albums are. Okay. What else is that? What else you got out there? Is that it? Is that the main thing? The album, and then the
album, and then I got to try to lose this 35 pounds of weight I've gained in the past 6 months.
Oh wow. Okay. You could probably.
Oh, by the way, I'll tell you what not to do when you want to lose weight. Drink beer every day.
Oh, don't do that. Do that or do not do that. Do not.
Do not put your finger in a coffee cup and then pretend you're on Sober October.
I think you've been drinking coffee this whole time. Good for you, mate, winner. Smart. That's the old late night TV move. Clever. You're a pro, my friend. All right, we're going to get out of here. Folks, that's Gene Pompa. Yeah, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it, dude. Thanks for your time. My best cheer. What's your wife's name? Please tell me your wife's name. Do you mind?
Roxanne.
Roxanne, thank you for helping him through this. I appreciate that.
He said thank you for your disservice.
Thank you for your disservice. Folks, one more time. Everybody clap for my friend Gene Pompa. That's the man right there.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Everybody, look at there's a man that brings his own crowd with him. Smart man. That's a pro. That's a pro. That's the best. Folks, that's Gene Pompa. That was a great hour and 40 minutes. That's a long show. Hour 40 something. I don't know what time it was. Thank you guys for staying for the whole show. I can't it was great. Gene's great, man. He's very funny. I highly recommend you get his album. Go check it out. There was more from his stand-up. You could Google him. Look him on YouTube. His clips from stand-up are very funny. But get the album. Very funny stand-up. It was a great show. It was great having him here. All you guys, thank you for tuning into the show. We'll be back next week. It's going to be a little different next week because I'm traveling. So I've got I got Palmer Davis, who is has her own woman show, actress, good friend of mine, dancer, showgirl, housewife. I can't remember the name of her show. She's going to get mad at me for not doing that. Wednesday is going to be my friend Jeff Shaw on a taped show. We got a couple taped shows next week. I am on the road, so I'll be doing the comics I'll be working with. I will have on the show next week and the week after. Also, tomorrow night is the Schmidt Show. If you want to check it out, check out Schmidt Show. Live stand-up here, 6 o'clock. It's not on Facebook. It's not on YouTube. It is a Zoom show. It's going to be a little bit different. If you want to see that, you got to buy a ticket. I will give you information on how to buy a ticket. I wonder how you can do that. Bam! Oh, look, there's some stuff right above my head right there. If I have a whole new pay whatever the hell you want policy for my online content. Here's how it works. If you want to see the show tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, go to my website, lennyschmidt.com/ifyoucan, or Venmo me at Lenny Schmidt Comedy, and you can purchase a ticket for any amount of money you want to spend, whatever the hell you want to spend, whatever you think 45 minutes of comedy with me is worth. You can pay for it tomorrow night. You can do that. I don't care if it's $1, $5, $10, $50 or $10,000. The $10,000 option is still on the website. Someone's going to hit that eventually. Please feel free to grab those. So you have to pay for a ticket tomorrow for Zoom unless you are a Patreon member. That's the third option. The third option right there at the bottom there. Lenny Schmidt Comedy on Patreon. Here's the deal with Patreon. Same thing with Patreon. You can go there. You can join it for $1. It's a monthly service for $1, $10, or for $50. Or there's also a pay whatever the hell you want option on there. If you go on there and join Patreon between now and tomorrow night, I will send you a Zoom link for the show as well. And the deal with Patreon is simple. Whatever you pay per month is up to you. Anything between $1 to as much as you want. The more you pay, the more you get. Simple. You can get either just quick updates from me, you can get Zoom links to shows, or you can get all my albums for free, all my content for free, everything I've done online for free. You get all kinds of stuff if you join as a Patreon member. So feel free to check it out. It's all on my Facebook now. Go to Lenny Schmidt Comedy on Facebook. All that stuff is on there. All the links are on there. I've been plugging the show tomorrow night. You can check that out tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. If you are a Patreon member, also top-tier members, especially top-tier members, you guys get the writer's package, which means you get a writer's session with me once a month. That is tomorrow at 5 before the show. We're going to go over some material that I've written the last few weeks. We're going to combine it with some of the other material I'm trying to remember. And then I'm hopefully going to put together a show to do next week while I'm on the road. So there you go. We're going to run through the rehearsal of it tomorrow. I've been working on some of it today. Very excited about some of the material. You guys can check it out. Please do that. Please do that. You guys, thank you for being here. Larry, your joke earlier about your mom trying to give you away was very funny. I didn't get a chance to say it because Gene was hilarious. Gene was very funny. Robbie, you missed tonight. We were on for an hour and a half. How does that even happen? Nice. Okay. And source for blue cups at the OKC show. That would be hilarious. I should bring your blue cup up on stage now. That's what I should do. Oh, Keith. Yeah, I'll get Schubert back here, man. I was just talking to him the other day. He's actually moving your way, I believe. We were talking to him about moving out to Florida. I think he's going to be living close to you. So there you go. You guys are great. Thank you for being here. And again, we'll be back next week with more live shows. If you're listening to the podcast, keep tuning in. The shows will be updated periodically. All you guys, do me the best. Do me a favor. I'm babbling now. I got to get out of here. It's been a long show. Do me a favor, folks. As always, dream of Pinky.
Lenny Schmidt Quarantine Comedy was created, produced, and is hosted by Lenny Schmidt. We live stream on YouTube at 6 p.m. Pacific every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Special episodes occasionally stream or are uploaded on Tuesday and Thursday. Every episode is also launched as a podcast and can be heard on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. If you enjoyed the show, please like the video. If you really like it, share the video. If you really, really like it, please subscribe to the Lenny Schmidt Comedy channel on YouTube. You'll get updates on this and numerous other online comedy content that my dad produces. Check the info section below for detailed information on all of our guests. If you are a fan, you can follow and support them as well. Go to their page, like their content, buy their albums, purchase a shirt, any merch they may be selling. Anything you do will support performers will literally help save the arts. In fact, if you want to support this show financially, just go to lennyschmidt.com/ifyoucan or Venmo at Lenny Schmidt Comedy. If you donate as little as $1 or as much as $10,000, it will help pay for the stuff my dad keeps breaking. If you can't pay for the comedy content, that's okay. COVID sucks for all of us. Enjoy the free show. If you want to find a way to support what we do, just subscribe to Lenny Schmidt Comedy channel on YouTube. That really helps a lot. Thank you for listening to my dad's show, and as always, dream of Pinky.